So today I wanted to kind of take a look at how I did my movie storage here for my home entertainment center. Now I kind of started out with one of these 2x3 6-cube storage units in an espresso finish. I think they were from Target, and I wanted to kind of add on to these since I already had one to store my movies in. And also to kind of build a little surround to my home entertainment center. Now, one thing about the cubes is they're roughly like 11 by 11, so they're not really, super well suited for storing movies. I mean, you have a lot of dead space up in the top, and then they're also kind of deep. So I wanted to come up with a way that I could, first of all, keep my movies from sliding backwards into the shelf, and then also kind of doubling my storage space. So what I ended up doing for pretty much all of these cubes that I have movies in right now is I built these little riser boxes out of basically black-faced foam core. Like you find in the art supply section at any Target or Walmart or anything like that. I actually got these dollar sheets of black foam core at Dollar Tree, and then basically what I did is just kind of came up with the dimensions and the rough idea for building these boxes out of foam core and hot glue. So the back is the full dimension of one of these cubes, so it's 11 by whatever. You'd probably have to measure for your own cubes because I think they do come in multiple sizes. So it has a full back, which is nice because these 2x3 cubes only have 3 backs to them, so 3 of them are open back. So this is nice because then it also, I don't know if you can really see it, but it fills in pretty much most of the back of these cubes, so they're all nice and uniform. So basically then what I did is I kind of measured the height of a Blu-ray and created a shelf to that appropriate height for them to sit on. So now I basically have, you can kind of see the example and then kind of like the finished product. So I have not only a way to keep my front-facing row from getting pushed back into the shelf, but then like a whole extra row behind it that I can still see and access behind it. And yeah, it's just basically out of foam core, hot glued together. So I have the back square, and then measured the height of the Blu-ray, and then glued the shelf, which is the length or the depth of a Blu-ray case, and the width of the cube. Glued that onto the back, glued sides on both sides, and then I glued a flat front. It doesn't have to be full height because it's going to be sitting behind here. And also I like having it kind of half height because then I can slip cases or other things back behind here as well. And then underneath the shelf, between the back and the whole front face, I did kind of put like a little support brace underneath. Don't think you really need it because Blu-rays really don't weigh a whole lot. They're only 2 ounces at most, and foam core is pretty decently strong, especially when you glue a box out of it. But so that's anyways how I constructed it. And it sits in the back of the cube. If they have a back, they'll just sit against the back. For the ones that don't have a back on them, if they are not fully tight in there by themselves, I'll just take scrap pieces of it and then just kind of shim it, and I'll keep them nice and secure in here. And that way I can load up my Blu-rays. Here, let me throw some of these in here, and you can kind of see, keep things pretty nice and tidy. And then I have, you know, pretty much double the storage space from these cubes to use as movie selections. Now DVDs are a little bit taller than Blu-rays, so I had to kind of adjust the shelf height for behind here. But it was pretty much just an improvised solution. You could do them out of wood, but I just thought hot glue and foam core has never really been a bad solution for most of my problems, so I thought I would try it, and it works out perfectly fine. And one sheet of foam core pretty much does 2 full cubes plus, you know, scraps for other pieces, so it's a good cheap solution. So so that's how I kind of extended my cube storage here. And I also do like the cubes as movie storage because I can kind of stack, like I have here. I have the 2x3 on the bottom, and then I have a 1x3 on the top, and then that gives me a little shelf to put my speaker on, or a little uplight like this, and double it up on the other side, and it's a nice little surround for the TV. So so that's how I store my movies. I'd be kind of curious to see if this solution works for you, or to hear what you try for your own collection. But that's how I use cube storage to store my movies.